You can also join the conversation tiri live pa Facebook munokwanisa kuya zvekare pa WhatsApp platform pedu tichitaura nhau ye drug and substance abuse chinzwo a perspective ye a survivor and of course a young person as well. Blessing achitudzo zvekare maonero ake mu nhau dze drug and substance abuse. As you know Say What is actively engaged in the fight against drug and substance abuse, collaborating with funding partners such as the Embassy of Sweden in Zimbabwe and the Stop TB Partnership. Blessing, can you tell us more about Say What's initiatives and strategies to address drug abuse, particularly in relation to sexual reproductive health?
What Say What basically is doing is pushing so that it alleviates or combat the rise of drug and substance abuse. We have seen in tertiary institutions, they have established what are known as resource centers, whereby young people, particularly students in learning places, they can approach and they can get assisted. If someone is struggling with addiction, they can get free counseling, as well as Say What is a toll-free number, which is 577, as well as the outreach and advocacy that Say What has been doing to ensuring that the message that drug and substance abuse is detrimental to the health and social welfare of young people.
Patients ndichikudzosa zvekare mu conversation yedu ndoda kunzwa kwauri kuti mukushandisa zvinodhaka peshi zvakakanganisa sei maonero ako panyaya dze-sexual reproductive health nesarudzo dzawaita panguva iyoyo yekuti waitaura kuti wainzwa kunge pamupfungwa dzakurashika, unzwa hasha, unzwa zvakasiyana siyana. Ndezvipi zvimwe zvawakasangana nazvo?
Inini zvakatondikanganisa upenyu chaiwo because ndiri munhu wekunge ndaitofanira kunge ndatokumberi, but ndakadzokera kumashure nekuda kwemadrugs iwayo because kana kumbeza even maplace chaiwo ndaitengesa kana hembe ndaitengesa nekuda kwekuti ndaida kutobhema madrugs iwayo ndasikade kumashaya.
Alright, and mupenyu wako wanga uine munhu here waifambidzana naye?
Izvozvo ndandisatombode, ndaitoona sekuti ndichitoshungurudzwa ndasitorina.
Wanga usina boyfriend, wanga utori wega wakazvimirira? Alright, saka hazvina kukukanganisa kuti pamwe wanga kuwandira kunhau dzebonde?
Ipapo manje inini manje zvevarume ndasingade through drugs randairova ndaiona sekuti varume vanenge vachindishungurudza, saka ndiri munhu wekuti ndaida kungogara ndakadhakwa.
Alright. Ungapa yambiro yekuti chii kune vamwe vari kushandisa zvinodhaka uye kuti zvakaipirei takatarisa nhau yeutano sexual reproductive health yavo?
Kune vari kudhakwa ndinotokumbirawo kuti vasiyane nazvo because mudhiragi iroro zvinokonzeresa zvakawanda. Vamwe kwedu kuvari kufa nekuda kwemadrugs iwayo. Munosvika pakutorwa uchinzi hande ndinoita even kuvakadzi maadvantages acho toshandisirwa maadvantage akawanda. Vamwe vanhu vanogona kutorwa uchinzi hande tinorara newe ndikupe madrugs, mumwe munhu obva abvuma. Manje kutori neumwe akafa futi nekuda kwemadrugs iwayo. Saka ndinotokumbirisawo kune vari kuchiri kuzviita ngavasiyane nazvo because hazvina kwazvinovasvitsa.
Iwe parwendo rwako rwekusiya zvinodhaka wakakwanisa sei kuvaka ukama neushamwari uye kuvakiridza simba chairo rekuita sarudzo maererano nereproductive health yako?
Inini hangu kwandiri upenyu hwangu ndikutoona kuti hwakuendeka, kana even kusimba chaiko ndatosimba because ndiri munhu angaonda ndakuita semunhu anorwara. Vanhu vangonditi kurwara asi siri madrugs.
Asi uri kuona kuti zvasiyana?
Zvasiyana because haizvezvi miri wangu ndowanda nawo.
Blessing, tichikunze zvekare mu conversation, based on your observations, how do you think drug and substance abuse influences young people's attitudes towards sexual reproductive health and just their overall well-being?
All right, I would like to explain the concept of addiction, like how it happens in relation to drug and substance abuse. If you look at addiction in the brain of a person, we have what is known as the reward system. the reward system is the one that basically tells you, kuti, I'm now hungry, I need to eat, I'm now thirsty, I need to drink water, I'm tired, I need to sleep. So when the moment you eat food, delicious food, there is a release of a dopamine, which is a pleasurable effect to the reward system. So the reward system confirms that it's now satisfied and actually someone feels happy. But now the moment one takes substances like crystal meth, dopamine is released in high pressure to an extent that the reward system is hijacked. When the reward system is hijacked, it distorts the wiring of a person to an extent that the moment that they are feeling they are feeling hungry, they feel like they are full. Akaguta muniye. The moment that the reward system out, you now need to sleep, they are overexcited, they are in a euphoric state, they don't sleep, they can actually go for 7 days. And this is particularly in relation with crystal methamphetamine. So I'm saying this whole wiring of addiction happens to an extent that the distortion you figure out, like what Patience was saying, you can no longer establish social relationships like a normal relationship. You can ask out muskana kuti ndokuda. At times you end up being isolated. You cannot have face-to-face conversations with people. To an extent, you might resort maybe to prostitution, exchanging sex like what other girls are doing, so that they could get the substance. So it's just a demonstration of what the substance can make you do. Ungotora one hit ye crystal meth. For those that take crystal meth, they can confirm with what I'm demonstrating right now. And as well with relation to sexual reproductive health, it exposes young people to risk and reckless sexual behavior. That's why we are seeing the increase in sexually transmitted infections, because you cannot then decide, Guti, I want to have protected sexual intercourse, considering the circumstance of all this that I have been explaining.
Thank you so much, Blessing, for that. We are live on Facebook. You can also come on our WhatsApp platform. And in a question yako Peshi, vamwari kuvunza kuti pawakatanga chichakaita kuti utange kuti ndada kuita sarudzo yekuti nditore madrugs.
Inini pandakatanga ndakangochiwo shamwari yangu ichitobhemawo madrugs iwayo, saka ndo pandakanzi chimbopinda wani hitunzwe kuti zvinoita sei, ndo pandakapinda. Saka ndakatozononge ndanda kuita sendaifara chaizvo, ndikaita ndikabhema madrugs aya, ndo pandakabva ndangotangirawo kuruwa madrugs ipapo, handazombomira bva ndazosiya 2020.
Alright, apo wangoteedzerawo kuti imborova otoona kuti hauchakwanise kumira. Blessing, coming back to you, what role do you believe universities and educational institutions, should play in addressing drug and substance abuse among students, particularly in relation to sexual reproductive health?
I think universities, education and institutions, they have a huge role to play in alleviating the scourge of drug, substance and even alcohol misuse amongst young people. For instance, at the institution that I am at, Great Zimbabwe University, already we have what is known as the sexual harassment policy, but we don't have the drug and substance abuse policy or act. These policies, if they are also incorporated within institutions of higher learning, they go a long way in alleviating. If you look at these issues of sexual harassment, where they are coming from, the source, maybe it's a result of all these issues that and people end up being reckless, and it's affecting and it's even causing my issues of gender-based violence. So I'm saying the issue of drug and substance abuse, it's a national issue, it's a pandemic that requires a holistic approach, and institutions of learning, they have a role to play in combating this scourge.
In short, as a recent graduate yourself, what recommendations do you have for policymakers, organizations working to combat drug abuse and its impact on sexual reproductive health? In a minute.
All right. Firstly, we have what is known as the Dangerous Drug Act, which was established in 1952, Chapter 1502. It prohibits the exportation, importation, production, sale, use of dangerous drug. And we also have the Criminal Code, Chapter 923, Section 157, which criminalizes the possession and use of dangerous drugs. So I feel these policies need to be amended because the Dangerous Drug Act, which I have mentioned, currently it does not enlist crystal meth as a dangerous drug because it was established in 1952. And we have the second one that I mentioned, the Criminal Code. It criminalizes the possession and use of dangerous drugs, but it does not adopt a public health stance whereby we are saying someone will be just arrested if they are struggling with addiction or if they are caught with substances. But this issue has to be looked at from a psychological point of view, which means that person now requires rehabilitation. They don't necessarily need to be put in a jail or in custody, but they need to be looked at from a health point of view.
Thank you so much, Blessing. Patience mashoko ako ekupedzisira kuruzhinji rweZimbabwe rwakateerera.
Inini mashoko angu ndinongotiwo kune vanobhema madrugs dai Mwari apindira varegedza kurowa madrugs because anokupinza munjodzi dzakawanda.
Tinokutenda nekuya pachirongwa Peshi and Blessing. Thank you so much. Thank you to our insightful guest for sharing their experiences and expertise as well on drug and substance abuse, a survivor's perspective. And we encourage everyone, each one of you who's listening, to continue the conversation, raise awareness and support initiatives that promote a drug-free and healthy society. This program was brought to us by Seiwat with support from the Embassy of Sweden in Zimbabwe and Stop TB Partnership. Tune in next week, same time, same spot for another engaging program. Remember, 577, that's a number to call for psychosocial support and SRHR related solutions. It's Strife and sounding good all the time. Thank you for listening.